Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Hi, Jen. Thank you so much. I've missed your face too, even though I talk to you every day. But I mean, on YouTube. Hey, Montana Jade, and thank you, Jen. Thank you. Hi, Pecan. Hi, Montana Jade. Get off my keyboard. Sorry. Hey, Dallas. It's 14 months. Oh, yeah. Hey, Abra. Hey, Sarah. I have a surprise for you guys. I am not going to say on camera because for some reason, my camera keeps like wigging out and making me look white as a ghost. I can see like my eyelashes through it. If I like move in certain ways, it like auto focuses and fixes itself, but I don't know what is going on and why it's not working. But I will turn my camera on for a minute so you can see my feathered friend. Say hi. Hello. She is a menace. And being a menace, aren't you? And she keeps going after my keyboard, which she's probably going to try and jump down now. Aren't you? Is she trying to get my keyboard? So if I happen to like mute out of nowhere or, something along those lines, it's the Birb. Hopefully she doesn't disconnect me, but here, go up there and play with your toys. Here, I got you all kinds of toys. Here you go. And hold on, I have to find her rubber bands. They're her favorite. Here's little pig bug. Oh, see, it just makes me all weird. I don't know what is going on. Let me turn my camera on. But anyway, maybe I can make just like a burb cam for y'all. It might focus on her better. Let me see if I can do that. Can I make a burb cam? Meet the bird to NYC. Oh yeah, and I am going to meet Sarah in NYC soon, in like 2 weeks. I'm so excited. I guess this will be the first time that I've ever met a YouTube friend. But anyways, I wanted to explain myself and hey Laurie, my my disappearing act. Uh I got a job and then I got promoted and I'm working in project managing. And then my stepdaughter has started coming like every other weekend, and my son stays, and they're both 8 and they are psychopaths. And then I didn't have internet for 3 days and we had snow and storms, all that. So it's just I need to get my butt here and on here more. But I don't get home till like 5 o'clock, and then I gotta make dinner and then, homework and all that. And then I'm pooped by the end of the night. So I'm gonna have to just like man up and pick like at least like one day of the week to get on, and then maybe two, and then like every other weekend. What do you want? The Burb's temporarily going off camera because she wants my keyboard. You can't have that. No, no. You're gonna turn off my stream. Sorry. Go back up. Here. You can have the sticker, even though I like that sticker here. You're like, what is this crap you're giving me? So, since we got her, when I first got her, she was flying into walls. I mean, she was awful. Now she's gotten much better. She flies on my head and tortures me every day, trying to chew my rings and If I got food, she comes down, all that fun stuff. Yay, Lori's been a member for 11 months. Woohoo! But anyways, I wanted to talk about this Kansas City case just because it has me totally hooked. I'm sure y'all have been following, and if you haven't, you need to check it out. But I will give you the rundown so you don't have to. Let me pull up the article so I have like their names and stuff right before I. Come on. It is crazy, isn't he? Isn't it? It's wild. So I'm a huge football fan, so naturally this just has me um totally pulled in. I am an Eagles fan, but I do really enjoy watching the Chiefs. They're probably like my second favorite team. So I was definitely like, "Oh my goodness, this is crazy." But in a nutshell, um take the comb. Go do play with the comb or something. Uh Sorry, excuse me. I'll be yelling at the bird the whole time. Hey, Boston Nick. Boston Nick, you want to see the burb? I'll show you real quick. Say hello to the burb. Say hi. Say hello to them. Hello. Say chirp. You gonna chirp? You gonna chirp? No, not for them. You don't want to. Look, is that you? Do you see you? Do you see yourself? Here, look. There's you. Isn't she cute? I think it's a girl. We call her Chicky Nugget. If it's a boy, it's gonna be Nugget. Um, a girl, it's gonna be Chicky. But for now, we call him Chicky Nugget. I won't know until she molts. All right, but anyway, so originally they were saying 4 friends. And guys, sorry if you don't see me on camera. It's because I made a burb cam because my face, it keeps like unfocusing and making my face white as a ghost. And it's driving me crazy because you can't see me. Just stop dropping stuff. So I am just doing a burb cam. So, originally they said 4 friends. Jordan Willis, who's the homeowner. Okay, and then his 3 friends, Clayton McGeeney, David Harrington, and Ricky Johnson. Clayton was 36, David Harrington 37, and Ricky Johnson 38. They were watching a football game at Jordan Willis's house on January 7th, which a lot of people thought it was the weekend where there was that big freeze, but it actually wasn't the weekend of the big freeze. It was the weekend before. Remember they had those like totally freezing temperatures? It was the weekend before that. So it wasn't as cold as everybody thought. But on January 9th, they were watching a football game and then they never came home. And it was for 2 days. Their families are blowing this guy's phone up like, hey, hey, speculation station. They're blowing this man's phone up like, hey, where is my family member? They were at your house last. He doesn't answer any of them. Just MIA, right? People go to his house. They're banging on this dude's door, looking for their family. He's not answering. Then finally, one of the guy's fiancés had enough. She goes to the house, bangs on the door. He doesn't answer, so she breaks a window and breaks into the house. And she's in the house. She announces her presence. She's yelling, nope, don't touch the keyboard. She's yelling for the keyboard's going over there because she's getting into it. I don't want her to throw me off the stream. So she goes into the basement. She announces herself. She's like, hey, I'm here. Where's my family? Hey, mystery. By the way, I'm not on camera because it keeps like making me look like a ghost, like how it's doing to the bird now. But I made a burb cam for you. See? I know, it's crazy speculation station, isn't it? Because it just doesn't make sense. And I'll go over why I think it doesn't make sense. But She goes into the house. She's yelling, "Hey, I'm in the house. Jordan, blah, blah, blah." And then while she's in a house, she sees a body through the window. So the cops are called. The cops show up. And then magically, the guy decides, "Hey, Kelly Glitter." The guy decides to come out after all of this. Just, decides after 2 days of just being MIA and not answering anybody, um, he decides to come out saying he was sleeping with an empty wine glass in his hand or something like that. But yeah, so very bizarre. Um, the cops, they went to the house for a welfare check. They were met at the door by Willis holding a wine glass, insisting he had no idea that his 3 friends had been dead in his yard for the past 2 days. Hey, Lynn! I'm so glad you made it too. And so is the Birb. Here, why don't you go up there so people can see you? She's just gonna fly back down, but there you go. He insisted he had no idea that his friends had been dead in his yard for the past 2 days. What did you drop? And you just put on my chair. The photos from inside the house show that unless all the blinds were closed, it would have been difficult for him not to see the backyard. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen. This bird. I knew this was going to be trouble. Hey. Yeah, open the door with a wine glass. Look at this house. Look at the windows and the doors. How do you not see? Look at how big these windows are, too. Like, I see that there's blinds, but yeah. She's picking up all kinds of stuff now, playing in my stuff. But look at all those windows. There's blinds, but still, how do you not see your three friends in the yard? I'm gonna stop the cam until she decides to come back. Yeah, look at this house. 2 sets of large windows and a window door occupy the wall of the living room facing the backyard, and an opening from the kitchen into the living room lines up directly with those 3 windows. Also, there's also a double wide window direct. Thank you, Gone Girl. How nice. Thank you so much. It doesn't make any sense. I really appreciate that, Gone Girl, and so does the Birb. Say thank you. Say thank you. No, you don't want to chirp. Yeah, it's really, yeah, that is a good point though. Why would he leave them in his own yard? Or maybe his plan was like, I'm just going to pretend I have no idea how they got out there. And then he owns 2 dogs. So you're trying to tell me you haven't let these dogs out in 2 freaking days? I don't know. And by the way, he's like a highly accredited like scientist, the guy. His attorney, John Paserno, claims the dogs were at his parents' home when the Chiefs fans froze to death outside. But here's the strange part. The attorney says the dogs were at his dad's home, but a 5th friend has come forth. And he said he was there and the dogs were there. So, what now? Paserno said Willis had been asleep on the couch next to the whirring of a loud fan for 2 days. Yeah, allegedly the dog's at his dad's home, but the 5th friend says the dogs were at the house. He was also wearing noise-canceling headphones when concerned family members came calling. Yeah, but if you're wearing noise-canceling headphones, wouldn't you hear like all the phone calls you're getting, like bing, ding, 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 in your ear? You know what I mean? If I had noise-canceling headphones on and my phone was connected to it, I'm hearing everything. It just sounds so bizarre, though. I slept for 2 days straight with noise-canceling headphones on and a fan whirring next to me, like, and I didn't let my dogs out at all. Yeah, who sleeps I mean, oh, I'm sorry, did I scare you? My headphones fell and it scared her. I'm sorry, come here, come back. You're okay. Two of the friends' bodies. Yay, Lynn! 14 months. The math is not mathin'. The day before, however, Persona said Willis had been sleeping in his bedroom on January 7th and January 8th, only leaving the room sporadically and not leaving the house at all. It is unclear whether there was a couch in Willis's bedroom. Okay, so let's go over the things that were said that just don't add up. First, he's on a couch. Second, he's in his room sleeping. Uh, at one point, I think he said he left the house sporadically, or maybe he said leaving the room sporadically. I thought he said he left he was in and out of the house, but maybe I'm wrong. Um, he said that he went to bed and that he walked his friends to the door or something or no, that he walked his friends to the door before he went to bed. But the fifth friend said no, they were watching Jeopardy there, like at the very early hours of the morning. Oh, okay. If you have the do not disturb on. Gotcha. Yeah, but who put I don't know. Who puts on do not disturb? I mean, I guess if you're a guy with no responsibilities, maybe I'm not maybe I don't understand it because I have a child and a family and it just doesn't make sense to me to not ever have my phone on cuz what if somebody needs to call me? But I don't know. Yeah, maybe mystery could be. But it's weird because just what isn't math to me is that his stories keep changing. It's like first they said this and now it changed and then it's very strange that the stories keep being different and I can understand if one guy got super drunk and passed out in the yard. I can understand that I can come to terms with, but three people, there's just no way. You know what I mean? I feel like they had to all ingest fentanyl or something. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, hopefully. But I feel like that's the only logical explanation for this. People are saying carbon monoxide poisoning, but that doesn't make any sense to me because um 5 a.m. mystery. Oh my goodness, I do get a lot of spam phone calls, but I never got one at 5 a.m. If I got one at 5 a.m., I would be screaming in someone's ear, "How dare you wake me up right now?" Um, I don't know. I'm just too nervous to ever put my phone on. I do turn my ringer off, but I at least have the vibrator on it, the vibrating thing on at night, so that way I feel it. I plug my phone in and leave it in my bed next to me, and or if I have it on a little end table, I'll feel it or hear it vibrate. So, the temperatures hovered in the 30s on January 7th and 8th, and several inches of snow fell in Kansas City on January 9th, but records from Weather Underground indicate there was no significant accumulation in the neighborhood the day after the friends went missing in the yard. The Kansas City police said they are 100% not looking into the deaths as a homicide and that Willis has been cooperative since they became involved. There was no obvious signs of foul play. Hey, B Tim. East Coast number. I'm on the East Coast. That's weird. That's really strange. I get a lot of um like we have reached we're calling you about your Google business ad or something. I get things like that all the time. Drives me crazy. And there's another one. Yeah, I think so too. Speculation station. Maybe they cop some pills or something that were laced with fentanyl. Um Lori did not have to do that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lori. Here. For anyone just coming in, here is the Birb. I promise I would bring her in my title tonight. I'm not on camera because it keeps making me look white as a ghost, and like I don't know, I need to like adjust my lighting or something because and it's a mess behind me because I had to keep moving things around because the Birb is trying to chew all my stuff. Oh, I have a friend who lives in Utah. Her name's Kelsey. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, thank you. So, they were I'm thinking maybe, they got some, like, pills and they were gonna celebrate and maybe they didn't know there was fentanyl in them. I mean, the only thing that could be sinister is maybe this guy like, not sinister, but maybe this guy had, like, access to, like, chemicals, and brought some home and was like, "Oh, hey, let's do this," and they died? I don't know. Membership has expired to a luxury hotel. Must be nice. Like, I wish. What are you doing? Hi. You want my Allen key? Some speculate that the group may have been sedated after combining some kind of drugs with alcohol and then passed out in the cold. If that's the only thing I can really see happening here, whether it was just unknowingly or like somebody, like I don't know where they got it from, but it is a little strange. Hey, Grandma Sherry, it is a little strange to me. Did you see my Birb, Grandma Sherry? You like the Birb? Let me show you. She's got my Allen key. Say hi. Oh no! Dropped it. Say hi. Say hello. Give them kisses. Give them kisses. Oh. Right? Me too. Um, they may have been. That's the only thing I can think of. I can't see like carbon monoxide poisoning or something like that because they were outside. One and two. How did the homeowner survive this? Who knows? But I did have a burb cam on her, but she's too. I kept putting her up there with her little like toys to play with so people could see her, but she keeps flying down to my desk because she just wants to drive me crazy. I put her up there like 3 times and she just keeps flying down to my desk, so I gave up. It's one thing for a this is a quote. It's one thing for a person to tragically end up in a snowdrift after leaving a bar, which is totally possible. But it's a completely different story for 3 people to end up dead sitting in somebody's back porch after a party where nobody sees them for freaking 2 days. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I just think it's very strange. Maybe he did see them and then he got scared. I don't know, but it's weird. But this is the guy Jordan Willis. They said he's been cooperative. It certainly could be consistent with opioids, benzodiazepines, antihistamines, barbiturates, muscle relaxants, you name it. But I it's going to take a little bit probably for the toxicology to come back. So, I guess we won't know until then, but we'll know once that happens. And I know News Nation did interview they interviewed the attorney. So I'm going to pull that up so we can watch it real quick. I think Como did. Videos. Oh, I didn't see this one yet. This is 10 minutes ago. You guys want to watch this one? Hold on. I'm going to stop the stream for a minute because I don't know if the sound sharing, and I'm going to double check because I don't think it is. Sorry. Oh, I didn't know the fifth name guy came out. I didn't know that his name came out, but I know that there is a fifth guy. Okay, here we go. Will you get out of here? Go. Get away from my keyboard.
3 Kansas City fans. Oh, you know
Can you
what?
guys hear that?
I'm not calling them Kansas City Chiefs fans anymore. Yes, they clearly are. They have on the colors in the pictures. But I've been told more than once, let's not define somebody whose life is over by the football team that they liked. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Fair. This has just become the headline. But let's move past it now, right? These are the men. These are the families. They had lives, full lives, not just football fans. They go to a buddy's house after the game. They wound up dead. One of them doesn't even have a jacket on, frozen solid in the backyard, all in their 30s, all healthy. David.
I did not know one of them didn't have a jacket on. That's even weirder. Like, why would you go outside? I mean, maybe they went outside to, like, do whatever they had or smoke whatever they had or whatever, and then I'm give me that. I'm curious if um sorry. She's not coming with me next time. Nope. You're not doing it. Stuff on your face. What? Ew, get- Sorry. Get a bird, they said. No, she's cute, but she's bad. Hey, shift happens. You want to see the burb? I'll show you the burb real quick. Hey, hi, baby. Well, we're not sure if it's a boy or a girl yet. I won't know until they have their first molt. I've been calling it a girl because she just gives me girl vibes, that like her temperament. But for now, her or his name is Chicky Nugget, and if it's a girl, it's Chicky, and if it's a boy, it's Nugget. That's what we've decided on. Here, go up there and play. Look, I got toys for you up here. See? So Chicky Nugget for now. But yeah, I was thinking, what? There she goes. She's giving you some whistles. Yeah, I might have to take you out here if you're gonna do that the whole time. But go ahead, whistle away. Chicky Nugget, yeah. The kids came up with that name. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah. So, maybe, they just went outside, like, how people go outside to smoke their little cigarettes and whatever. Maybe they went outside and, exchanged something. I'm curious if they were all found together or like far apart in the yard. Because I feel like that would make a huge difference too. Like, um, oh, really? I want to know what to compare it to. Well, they said because yes, a live burb cam. They said because well, he or she, if you won't know till after their first molt, but she'll what? Gosh, you're probably hurting everybody's ears. What, you want to come back down to the table? Is that why you're mad at me? I think she wanted to come back down. Sorry, burb cam. Yeah, that's what she wanted. She yells at me when she can't get her way. We'll continue to the burb cam in a little bit. But yeah, I'm curious to know if they were all close together, like maybe they went out in the yard and they were all like, having a cigarette together and did something and boom. But if they're all like in separate far parts of the yard, that might be a little strange to me. I don't know. That's a good point. So, all right, let's keep going.
Harrington, Ricky Johnson, Clayton McGeady. No stab wounds, no foul play, we're told. The attorney for Jordan Willis, who is the guy whose house they were at, says through his lawyer, he certainly had nothing to do with it. And he doesn't know what happened when they left the house. Loved ones say they were looking for them pretty actively in the days thereafter. They weren't found for like 2-3 days.
Also, I would totally believe this guy. One was on a chair. Really? If one was on a chair, then that two in the yard. Huh. But I will say, at first I was like, Yeah, maybe this guy didn't do anything. Like, who knows, you know? And I still, definitely feel it's possible he didn't do anything. But what's weird to me is that the story that the lawyer said keeps changing. And I don't know if that's the lawyer's fault because he didn't understand him right the first time or what. But like now it's like, oh, that's a little strange that these things aren't matching up with what he's saying. Like that other friend coming out and saying this is not how it went. It's just very weird.
They couldn't reach the friend who survived. Why? He was out of it. He was working. Not great explanations. So hear it from somebody who was trying and who doesn't understand and who doesn't agree that this is just something that happened. Lori Cruz, 17-year relationship with David Harrington, one of the deceased. She's the mother of several of his
So
kids.
this is
Lori, thank you very much for joining us. I'm very sorry.
is this the chick that broke into the house, I think, I'm guessing? They just put this up 10 minutes ago. Yeah, the attorney is awful. And isn't he supposed to be like a high-end like homicide lawyer? Like he is just awful. Oh, did I scare you? I'm sorry. Here. Come on. I just moved my chair. Relax. One was in the chair allegedly and two in the backyard. Now the chair, I don't yeah. Or maybe the two were like talking further in the yard and one was sitting in a chair. I don't know. But the attorney is not helping him at all. Like for sure not helping him, in my opinion.
For your loss.
Thank you.
What do you want people to know about what is so heavy on your heart?
David wasn't a drug addict like they're talking about. He was a good guy, very good guy. He went to church with us. He coached my son's baseball team. Um, it's the mystery is out there and everybody's talking, and I can't
He
rest because my
doesn't
phone's
look like
blowing
a
up about
guy
did you hear
who's,
this or did you hear that about
on
social
drugs or
media with all
anything.
these links, and it's not, those are not true, and it's rude, it's hurtful. It's not who David was. David didn't do stuff like that. He got caught in the wrong he got caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I don't understand how he could have, or I mean, it doesn't make sense, 3 men dead. Um, but I get to look at all the crap that's not true about him, and it hurts because that's not him.
Hey, yeah, he doesn't look um like somebody who is on drugs. Maybe their drinks were spiked or something. Who knows? It's very strange. It's so weird. Like all of it. It's just so weird. Every part of it. Like this guy didn't hear people banging. Someone broke into his home, but then he knew when the cops came, he came out. I don't know.
Um,
It's easy for me to
whenever
say, don't look at it, but I know it's suffocating. And I know that you have to balance
Hi,
what you're being
T-Berry.
exposed to with what you tell the kids and how you deal with the loss. And frankly, right now, while we don't know a lot of things, to me, that matters more. How are you handling that? How are you handling knowing that whatever the explanation is, your guy's not coming home and that you're going to have to explain to the kids? How are you handling that?
So I'm pretty open with my kids, and I've told them, and they obviously see on TikTok and such. TikTok's terrible. People are laughing about it, and well, they're laughing because they don't know the people. And my kids see that. So I've been
Lori, there was no obvious injuries, no sign of foul play. A lot of people are speculating because the guy whose house they were at is he has like a PhD and he's a scientist. Like he won all these awards for like making COVID vaccine stuff. Like he probably has access to like, high-end drugs, really. Um, you know, that's a lot of people think it's strange that he just happens to be like a scientist or whatever, and maybe, he had access to things. So I like obviously a lot of people are speculating about that. And the strangeness of, um not answering the door and not answering phone calls. See, this is what I'm curious about. All right, so he said that all these people were calling him, right? But he wasn't getting the calls because his attorney said that he has some like robo app on there that screens calls and gets call and sends them through like a dummy number. And so that he was getting calls, but they weren't going through because the robo app was like blocking them. But then and then he said all of the texts that he was getting were on Facebook Messenger. But then this new friend who came out said, no, that's a lie because I texted him. And they were saying that he was reading, like, I've heard the family members saying, like, he was reading messages and not answering. So I'm curious if they were actually, like, when somebody reads your message on Messenger and a little bubble pops down. Like, I'm curious if he was actually reading them or if they were just being delivered, because that makes a huge difference. If he was actually like reading them, or if they were just being sent and he wasn't looking at them, because it'll say like delivered, read, or on uh Messenger, the little like bubble will pop down when they read it. Yeah, I do agree, but I don't honestly, I don't really know what else it could be that killed. I mean, not like them doing drugs, but maybe somebody had like spiked something or put something in their drink. Because it's just very like, what else could it be that killed all three like all three people? I don't know, but I personally, the one guy doesn't look like he would maybe like I think it's possible they may not have willingly did drugs, but maybe like, you know, they were accidentally given them somehow or something like that. Okay, let me continue. Maybe it's like who knows? It could be like some freak thing. We never know. Hey, Bodie Blue. Oh, that's okay. Hey, wait, let me show Bodie the Birb. The Birb. Say hi. Say hello, everyone. Give them kisses. Okay. All right, go ahead. Go back to what you're doing. I had a Birb cam, but she doesn't want to stay there. Hey, Shauna. She was yelling at me. I put her up in the bird cam and she started chirping at me because she wanted to go on my desk. Yeah, that's exactly like, if okay, just speculation here, obviously. But like, what if he had brought some things home, like, had access to things and brought them home or something, and then not thinking it would kill somebody, and then they died, and he gets scared because he's got a big reputation. Like he's got these like, maybe he was scared to say anything, because he's got this huge reputation as like an accredited scientist, or maybe he's not involved at all, but maybe I heard they may have been at like another party before they went to his house, so he might not even have anything to do with this. But his attorney is not helping and making him look weird because the story keeps changing. Whether it's the attorney's fault or his fault, who knows? Maybe. Oh, yeah, maybe. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if he had, it brought something home or whatever. I mean, who knows? But that's a good point, Lynn. Yeah, you would think they would. But if it's somebody who's okay, if it's somebody who's like readily using these things to experiment on, he might be able to just sign stuff out and say that he used it. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Hey, Emily. That's okay. I don't know how it works, but you would think there would be some kind of inventory where they would keep track of what is used and what isn't. So I mean, I would imagine the only way we are going to find out is through the toxicology, unless it's some kind of thing that they don't test for. But I don't even know, and I just can't see it being like carbon monoxide because they were obviously sitting outside, unless they were like. But if there was carbon monoxide in the house, the guy Willis would be dead too. So I don't even know what it could. There's so many possibilities. Yeah, like I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really that wouldn't be drug or alcohol related that could do that. Like I don't even know what it could be because you would think they just got locked out of the house. They wouldn't just sit there and freeze to death. They're gonna go somewhere. There was a car there. Somebody's car was there, or they would call somebody, or go knock on a neighbor's door. They're not gonna sit outside and just freeze to death. So there had to be something attributing to all of this. I just don't. It's very radon poisoning. Oh, really? So how does radon poisoning work though? Like if you're out in the air, can you still get radon? I'll have to Google that after we do this. I'll check that out. That would be a good thing to look up. Yeah, no, I don't think he had a lab in his house, but maybe if he like worked in a lab, he could have brought something home. Who knows? Not saying that he did. I'm just saying, the possibilities of, what could happen. What people are speculating and whatever, because he was a scientist. Yeah, severe cold air and yeah, because if they're drunk and it makes you feel warm that you might not even uh if a basement's not properly. Oh wow, and they have high levels of radon. Wow. Yeah, it could have been that they were like, felt, when you're like drunk, like you feel warm, so like the snow and the cold weather doesn't even bother you, so you could just like be outside. That could be something too, like maybe they didn't even realize how cold they were. But you would think, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could understand, like, a hypoxia happen to one person, but to three people, so not one of them was like, let me go inside, or I don't know. I just think it's so strange that three whole people, like, what are the odds? All right, let's continue.
Spoken with them, and we're dealing with it, and we're learning from it. I don't know what's going to come up. I don't know if Jordan gave them something like they're talking about. I don't know if Jordan did give him something, but whatever comes up in it, David did not intentionally do that. David was murdered. Whether it's a drug or it has to be for three men to be dead. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense to have three men dead, laying in the yard, and him asleep for 48 hours.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your.
Hey, Nina. You want to see the Birb, Nina? Whoever hasn't seen the Birb, we'll do Birb cam real quick. Birb cam! Hi! Do. Here, go play with your toys. Watch, she's gonna yell at me because she likes my desk. That was a gazillion to one. Yeah, it's very bizarre. Super bizarre. Like, I just don't understand it at all. That's pretty bold for her to say, like, they were murdered. That's crazy. Let me see if I can find the interview. Gosh, they post so many things in one day. There she goes. There she goes. Alright. Camera off again because you can't sit still. Oh, and Ethan Crumbly trial. And I think the Harmony Montgomery trial, or the Adam Montgomery trial is about to happen too. Alright, here we go.
What would you say if I told you I smoked
Sorry.
mood cannabis with my dad?
Well, I'd say,
But does it matter? Is it material? Well, yes, because if you didn't see them leave, that's one thing. If you did see them leave, then it leads to questions of, well, where did you think they were going? Why didn't you go with them, et cetera, et cetera. And the idea that he was unaware for days and not suspicious of what's happening in the backyard, and supposedly he has a dog, but the dog was sent to his parents' house or something. Why? Let's bring in the reporter who was first on the scene, looking into these details for Fox 4 KC. Reporter Malik Jackson. Malik, nice to meet you. Thank you for helping me out on this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Chris. We appreciate it.
All right, so now first,
Hopefully they go over
in terms
all
of
the
my
points.
curiosity, like, am I getting a wrong read on this?
You'd say pass, please. To the ad, that was funny. I wasn't expecting that for an ad. Why are they giving me weed ads?
Or are we right about the open questions?
I think you're exactly right. There's a lot of open questions, and more importantly, things have been said that don't line up. And so when things don't line up, what are you going to naturally do? Ask more questions. So I think you're right on target with this one.
All right, so in terms of what you're hearing from the authorities about what their assessment is to this point, my understanding is they're still waiting on toxicology. I've been told that that takes a couple of weeks, but I thought that you got like a quick mix, like 1 or 2 days afterwards that gives them something to go on about cause of death. What are you being told about what they're looking at?
So I spoke on the phone actually with the medical examiner that is dealing with this case. And basically, when there's no obvious signs of foul play, like no gunshot wounds, no stab wounds, it takes longer because they need those toxicology reports. And they have.
Yeah. You know what? Speculation station. I cannot smoke because it makes me freak the F out. Like, it scares. I do not have a good reaction to weed at all. I'm like, I'm gonna go hide in the bathroom and put a blanket over my head for an hour because, you know, it. Oh my gosh, this one night. All right, so I ordered these caramels that were supposed to be like all CBD with like a tiny, tiny bit of THC, and they sent me the wrong ones, and they sent me the extra strength THC ones, and I didn't know. And I took one, and oh my god, it was the worst night of my life. Like, I was like, "Oh, this." I was like, "This will wear off soon." No, it got stronger for like the next 5 hours every hour. I was like, "Oh my gosh, never again." It was awful. Yeah. So I'm just terrified of weed now. After like the attorney coming on, and he's going to say the name Alex. Okay, so his name is Alex. Interesting.
To here send them out of state. So it takes 6 to 8 weeks already. But depending on how complex the results are once they get them, it can stretch longer than that 8 weeks. So we are in this waiting period right now, and we really don't know when we're going to have these answers. And at the end of the day, Chris, I know you understand this. There's 3 families. It's interesting. We don't know what happened. We all want to know, but there's 3 families right now that have no idea how their loved ones are gone. And the idea of having to wait maybe longer than 8 weeks, it's frustrating for them.
So what did the 5th guy have to say, who was there but not the whole time? He left. What did he have to say? And Malik, let me know what your 2 biggest open questions are, and I'll put them to the attorney for you afterwards. So what does the 5th guy say? And good on you for getting an interview with him. And what are your questions?
So the 5th guy responded basically saying, because we spoke with Jordan Willis's attorney.
So is this reporter the guy who like broke the news about the 5th person? I'm wondering. Like, is he the one? They both have attorneys now too. I mean, I if I were the 5th person, I would get a damn attorney too. I'd be scared to death. I would attorney up right away because they're gonna try. Didn't he try and like throw that guy under the bus, or somebody did? I remember hearing like he was getting the 5th guy was getting thrown under the bus somehow.
John Paserno on Monday. And after when we spoke with him, he told us that Jordan went to sleep. So it was a different story that he said in the statement on Saturday that he released. It was a different story that he told Ashley Banfield hours after we sat down with him. And we have it on tape. He said his client went to sleep, and so that these men were still in his house. So when I talked to him, my first question was, well, when you left the house, were they still alive? Were you the last person to see them alive? And he unequivocally said that is untrue. I was not the last person there. I spoke with his attorney, and his attorney told us, he was there until a little after midnight. And when he left, all of these men, all 4 men, so the 3 victims and Jordan Willis, they were awake, they were there, and they were watching Jeopardy on TV. My questions are, Chris, at this point are simply, so at first we were told he only received messages through Facebook, okay? Well, then once we hunted down the person, number 5, this mystery man, then that changed because when we talked to him, he said, yes, through his attorney, that he texted Jordan on Tuesday because he had received text from.
So let me get this straight. Jordan said that he walked them to the door and then like went to bed or whatever, but apparently that didn't happen. That he went to bed when they were still up watching Jeopardy? Or was Jordan still awake with them watching Jeopardy? I'm confused. Give me that. You can't eat paper. No. You gotta see what she did to my book. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it, but she bit all the, like, there's little bite marks in the entire side of the book. So I'm confused as if they're saying that the guy said he was asleep and didn't see them leave, or he walked them to the door and said bye, then went to bed, but the guy saying no, he did go to bed, but they were still there watching Jeopardy? I'm confused. But regardless, the guy's story changed. It wasn't the same as what he initially said. Are you chirping for everybody? What do you want? Hey, Risk.
Clayton McGeeney's fiance and Ricky Johnson's mom. So he had received text. So he inquired to Jordan asking, about the whereabouts.
And
so
those weren't
why
answered.
did that? Exactly.
Yeah.
So why, if you only got a Facebook message and then now it's, I got text messages. And then my other question, I think it's your question, which is, okay, so did he escort them to the door? Was he asleep? And when did he see them exit? Because the first statement he says, I didn't see them exit the house. And then in the same paragraph, it says, actually, the last time he saw them is when they exited the house.
All right. So, and I'm going to go to break, but I just want to ask you this. I'll talk to the lawyer on the other side of the break. But did the guy number 5 give you any indication of how hard they were partying and what they were doing?
No, he didn't give us any indication of that. And when we talked to his attorney, when I talked to Paserno, that is the question that no one seems to want to answer. What were they doing? Were there drugs involved? How much alcohol was involved? Those are just questions that at this point we haven't been able to get the answers to. But, as we've done all along, if you don't tell us, guess what? We're going to go out there and we're going to find them.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to News Nation.
Well, that Fox guy, he ain't playing. He ain't playing. I thought the attorney was going to come on this one, but I guess not. Let me look. Let me go back now. It is very strange, though, isn't it? Like, there's so many different stories that he has, and that's the only part that's like, it's a little weird to me that he said all this stuff and now, it's contradicting. How many things do they post a day? My goodness. Yeah, Lynn, she made herself too comfortable. Radon is odorless, invisible radioactive gas. So my question is, if you're outside, can you get radon poisoning if it comes from the ground? But if he's got dogs and everything, you'd think if they have radon, like, it would kill his dogs. I don't know. Because dogs are, like, a lot smaller than humans, Tennis attorney keeps changing story. Is this where they talk to...
If you
Hold on. I'm going to see if this is the one. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, too, because, that guy... Look, I'm not saying anybody's drug addicts or anything. I'm just throwing up a, possible scenario here. People, like, they may be some type of way regularly, right? Like, don't do drugs, don't mess with that kind of stuff. But then when you get a few drinks in you and someone's like, oh, hey, like, let's try this, man. It's your level of responsibility, things like that. Your inhibitions or whatever a little bit lower. So maybe, on a regular day, those guys would never do anything, but they were drunk and, somebody was like, oh, hey, let's do this. Not that, who knows, but just, that's, I guess, most radon testing is done in the basement. Oh, okay. That are not mitigated. Got you. Yeah. Well, I want to see if the attorney's in this one. Oh, this is the attorney's not even on this one. Why do they keep mentioning the attorney? Where is the attorney one? This is frustrating me trying to find this because they post so many videos a day. It's like ridiculous. Here it is. I found it. The Chris Como one, this was the first one, I think. And then the Chris Como one is the second one. I wanted to watch the Chris Como one. Hold on. I'm going back. Wait. Is it Chris Como? Is that his name? Am I saying his name wrong? People won't drop dead over radon. Yeah. I just in the yard at least. Unless, they died of something in the house that he had nothing to do with it. He just got scared. Here it is. Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. That's okay. No, I have been like MIA, Linda, to be honest, because you haven't missed a lot because I got well, at first I was working marketing for a construction company, and then I got upgraded to project manager, and it's been a lot. So when I get home, I am like exhausted, and I don't get home until like 5, and then I have to make dinner and do homework with my son, and then you don't go to bed till like almost 9, sometimes 9:30, and then by that time, I gotta get my wash done, I gotta get a shower. So I've just been putting lives off. So I'm gonna have to pick like one night a week where I just man up and do it. And every other weekend I got both of my 8-year-olds here, my fiance's daughter and my son, and they just scream all weekend. So it's just hard to go live then too. But I'm gonna try at least once a week and every other weekend, maybe twice a week. But I'm just gonna have to buckle up and do it. But it's my fault. I've been like MIA. Don't start using meth. I won't ever. Red Bull is my, my caffeine. Ugh. Hey, get off my mouse. I'm trying to move my mouse so I can play the thing, and she's biting my mouse, following my hand with it. All right, here we go.
Whatever it is. Because if they're not shot and they're not stabbed and they're all dead, it just strains common sense to believe they could have wound up in this predicament if it wasn't done to them without drugs. It is the elephant in the room. What is the position of your client?
As I told you last night, Chris, I'm not in a position to comment on that at this time for a variety of reasons, not just on behalf of Jordan. And when and if the toxicology report comes out and when we get it, I'd certainly be happy to comment on it at that time. I'm not going to speculate about the activity and the behavior of other people who were not in the presence of my client at some point in time that evening or early morning hours.
And look, we both understand the dilemma, okay? If the tox comes out and they had whatever it is in it.
That's a good point, Emily. Maybe they got really hot. I mean, in my early 20s, I definitely did stuff and you or drinking and whatever, and you can get really, really hot and overheat it. We have no, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we are flooded with drugs here, and the fentanyl pandemic is awful. I live right outside of Philadelphia, and I watch this YouTube channel that interviews people from Kensington, and it's just awful right now. They have this new stuff on the streets. Well, one, they're putting fentanyl in everything. And what they're doing is they're mixing fentanyl in fake pills or in pills to make it really strong and make people want to get more. But the problem is people who don't do heavy drugs, they take that and they die. I mean, there's not a lot in there that you don't need a lot to die from fentanyl, and it's just everywhere now. And it's scary because you can't safely experiment anymore without running the risk of killing yourself. And it's scary for kids and stuff. It's terrifying. And well, anyway, I watched this guy who interviews addicts in Kensington, and now they have this stuff that the drug dealers are giving out with dope called Trank. It's basically a horse tranquilizer. it's called xylazine, and it literally eats your flesh away. And they don't really have like a way to cure themselves, like to help with withdrawals from that. It's awful. I thought carbon monoxide was odorless, but you definitely feel it, but maybe the other tried getting back in the house, but the one was just sitting in a, yeah, it's crazy.
Makes this a more understandable situation. He's now going to be chasing his responsibility as opposed to being in front of it and owning what happened that night. And one of those is a much more satisfying thing in terms of credibility. You're aware that that is the dilemma here.
No, I don't see it that way. And he has an attorney, and I'm representing his best interest. And he did nothing wrong, and that's what we're saying. That's what we're maintaining, and that's what we're going to say, no matter what comes back in that autopsy report.
Right. Well, something's going to come back, and I will give you a platform at that time, and we'll discuss it, because things just never don't make sense. Eventually, it will make sense, and responsibility will lie where it does, and we'll take it to its logical conclusion. John Paserno, thank you very much for being with us again. Yes.
I would like to address those the phone calls and the text messages if I could, since the reporter left that hanging out there.
Go ahead, because the initial suggestion was he only got a Facebook message and nobody was really trying to get him. Malik says that's not true, because the fifth friend.
So Chris Como, or however the heck you say his name, he does a good job of addressing this lawyer and everything that, the guy originally said, and that what they're saying now. So the name is coming, like the name of the guy, like the full name.
And says that he was getting messages and he was trying to find them and he wasn't getting his messages answered either. So what is it?
So I have sent your staff the records, his phone records, which I acquired this afternoon, and also the text message records. And during that period of time, the phone calls that came in on the early morning hour after the game on the 7th, and the early morning hours of the 8th, all the way to the 8th, and then all the way to the 9th when the police came, the only calls that came in were one from his dad, which we recognize the number, and you have the actual numbers. Mm-hmm. And then the other calls, there were 8 of them that came in from what is a dummy number. He has a robo-killer app on his phone. And so when calls come in that are unrecognized or for whatever reason, they read as this dummy number. I've dialed this dummy number myself. It's a non-existent number. You get a message saying whatever. It's a dummy number. And then the only other call that came in was all zeros, a call that he blocked again from a robocall. As far as the text message?
Yeah.
Robocall. Yeah. As far as the text messages go, what you have, there are a series of incoming text messages. That's all we have. There are no outgoing text messages. So the corollary to that, what goes along with what makes sense of that, is when you and I get a text message, typically we're going to respond. If somebody texts you and says, hey, these 3 guys are missing, and they're your friend, you're going to respond. If Alex had said, if someone had said to him, the text message came in, why don't you respond? You would respond to your friend, right? That's what you would do.
Maybe.
The reporter wanted to twist my words when I said he didn't receive any messages. And technically I'm right. His phone received the messages. If you don't look at it, you did not receive the messages.
So here's my thing, though. I feel like that he did look at his messages, though, because the family said several times that he was reading messages that they were sending and not answering. So I'm curious if he was reading them, or if, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what to think. It's strange to me that yeah, the family saying he was reading it, and he's saying he got the messages, but he didn't read them. They'll be able to tell if he read them or not. No, he's not doing his client any favors at all. He makes it he's doing awful for him. Yeah, the family definitely said he was reading messages. They absolutely said that. I did hear them say that. What are you chewing on? More wires. Okay, I keep trying to hit play on StreamYard and not the actual YouTube. Yeah, I know. It's crazy to me, Mystery. Or you have all them windows you didn't see. And who sleeps for 2 days? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible if you partied really hard, but that's just so strange to me. Sleeping for, you gotta get up to pee. If you got dogs, you gotta let the dogs out. You gotta eat. Like, what are you doing for 2 days? I think the only time somebody could lay in bed that long is if you're like withdrawing or like total like hungover really bad. But I don't know. I feel like you would still have to get up though.
I guess I should have said he didn't read the messages. And yes, as far as the text message from his friend, he did not tell me about that. And when I was informed of that, I asked him about that. And then he told me that's right. So there's 2 text messages, or excuse me, a Facebook message and a text message. And neither one he got before the police arrived at his home.
All right.
But the phone records that you have are consistent with him. If you look at them, the calls were early in the morning.
Yeah, we have
his dad called at noon and he picked up. He didn't pick up any in the morning. He didn't pick up any in the evening when he would have been sleeping. There were no other phone calls. And the text messages, the same way, there's no outgoing text messages those 2 days.
Right.
Which, as you know, who can stay off their phone for 2 days straight unless you're principally sleeping it out of it and you don't have your phone around you? So everything is consistent with what he's saying.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television.
Or that, like COVID or something. Yeah, true. If he was hungover and like had done drugs, maybe he was like, that's a possibility. It is strange though, and I guess we'll find out when the toxicology comes back. I guess we'll have more answers then. But until then, it's very strange, and we'll see if the story keeps changing or if more stuff comes out. Adam Montgomery's trial starting, Ethan Crumbly's mom's trial starting, I believe. I really wanted to watch the Michelle Troconis trial, and I literally put it on. I tried to watch it at work, like while I was working, but then I deal with so many phone calls and stuff all day, and like trying to figure things out, sending supplies places and that like I'll put it on for 5 minutes and then get distracted for the rest of the day and not be able to watch. So I have a lot of catching up to do, but the Michelle Troconis thing, if you guys follow the Jennifer Dulos case, that is the husband's girlfriend at the time, and they're trying to decide if I'm not sure if that trial is finished. That's a good point. Let me look. I don't think it's finished yet, but they're trying to decide if she had knowledge of or helped him at all in covering up the murder. Because he killed him. Unalived himself, I believe. Oh, yeah, so it's still going on. So we'll have to, yeah, it is sad. It is. The lawyer said he saw them to the door, lay on the couch, and changed to refuse on the couch. He would have seen her, then come back. Exactly. But, well, they said he was on the couch, and then they said if he was in his room, he was in his room. Maybe there's a couch in his room. I have no idea. Then it's weird that he walks out with an empty wine glass when the cops come. Like, that sounds like he was trying to make it look like to the cops, like, oh, I was so drunk, I still have a wine glass in my hand, Like, why are you walking outside to meet the cops with an empty wine glass? Unless, like, wouldn't you put the wine glass down before you walk outside? Unless you're trying to, like, paint a picture to the police, like, oh, I've been on a bender for 2 days. Look at my empty wine glass. I don't know. That's just, like, the vibe I get. Like, who walks outside with an empty wine glass unless you're trying to make a statement, Like, I feel like he was definitely trying to make some type of like statement that he was having way too much fun the past 72 hours or however many, what is it, 2 days. Yeah, that's just so weird to me. I don't know, like, if the cops are coming, I'm putting down everything and walking outside, not with an empty wine glass in my hand, but yeah, I will have to, maybe we could do like a triple trial recap. What? You're mad because I'm not letting you have my mouse. No, sorry if it's hurting anyone's ears. But yeah, maybe we could do like a triple trial like recap of the days, like the couple days, like when I come live, the past couple days of the trials, I'll go over all the recaps. Oh, I watched Ikmel's the what? Shh, quiet. Live yesterday. Where he was playing where he was talking about it. Shh. You'll be quiet. Here. So give one more look to everybody in the camera before we go. I know. What do you want? All right. Well, I am going to end it for the night. What? What? I know it's your bedtime. Are you ready for bed? Okay, so I can say bye to them. But yeah, I am going to end it so I can put this crazy Birb to bed. And that's what we'll do. I'm gonna try and do like Wednesdays, midweek. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and do it, like just get all my stuff done. I know you're making all these cute little noises. I'm gonna have to do like Wednesdays and then, get all my stuff done to Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then back on the weekend. Well, on the weekends where the crazy kids aren't here screaming, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Thank you everyone for coming. Thanks for the super chats and the memberships and hanging out with me and meeting the Birb. And all your love. I'm so glad that I've gotten to see everyone tonight because I've missed I feel like I've been MIA. I've missed everyone. And thank you, Jen. All right, good night everybody. I might be able to come back tomorrow and Sunday because I have no kids this weekend. Woohoo! So I'll try and make the best of it. All right. Good night, guys. See ya. Say bye. Say bye, everybody. Give them a chirp. Say woo. No. Okay. Thanks, Mystery.